Hello and welcome to Mythical Meeples. Today I'll be unboxing Battle for Seraphon, Primordial Starhost for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. If you like my content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This helps me grow as a channel and be seen by more people. And if you're in the EU or UK and want to pick up your own Games Workshop products, then head over to Element Games using the link below. You get discount generally around 15% off all Games Workshop products, and I get a 5% kickback for every purchase you make through that link. On with the unboxing. So within the Seraphon Battle Force, you get 30 miniatures, which you can see here, and you can see them all pictured on the front. So what do we get in the box? So you get the Slann Starmaster, 10 Saurus warriors, the Hunters of Huanchi, I probably pronounced that wrong, 3 Terror Wings, Kroxigor, 3 Kroxigor, and 3 Aggradon Lancers. So you get a nice mix of troops, different sized miniatures, so this is perfect for gamers and painters alike. Painters, you've got a nice bit of variety, so you've got some warriors, you've got the different specialised troops, and you've got a Slann Starmaster. And for gamers, you've got enough to start your own force or expand an existing one without too many overlapping units. So without further ado, let's take a look inside. So you can see this is what we get inside. You've got a big bag of bases. You've got several instruction booklets. So you've got the Hunters here, Saurus Warriors, Kroxigor, Slann Starmaster, and the Aggradon Lancers. So you can see all the sprues in here. So we're just going to remove those quickly. You can see the wings here of the Terror Wings, I believe. The Kroxigor or the Aggradon Lancers here. This must be the Slann Starmaster. This is this one. Again, you've got the Saurus, Aggradon Lancers. Saurus Warriors at the bottom here. And then the Kroxigor as well. So we'll have a quick look, deeper look at those sprues in a minute as well. And you can see the base of the Slann Starmaster and for the Aggradon Lancers at the bottom here. So let's start by looking at the Saurus Warriors. So basic infantry you've got here. You can see you've got a couple different options for them. You can give them all the sort of sword, club weapons, or you can give them all spears. So this is the champion that you can make. So you can see you start by building up the body, which is made up of 3 pieces. Then you do the arms, and then you choose your weapon, which you can see here, as well as the head. Sort of 8 different pieces for champion. Alternatively, you can build them as a sort of normal warrior by the looks of it. Just use a different head variant. So then you start, basic warriors all follow a similar principle by the looks of it. Body and the legs together, and then you do the arms. For the musician, you've got to build up the drum. Alternatively, you can just do the weapon and the shield. So again, it's warriors are all following the same sort of principle. So we're just going to flick through this. Again, the banner is a bit more complicated than just the normal warrior, which you can see here. And then once you've done those 3 special units, special models, you can work on the rest of them. Until you end up with your unit of 10. So let's have a look at the sprues. We're going to have a look at them individually, but you can see the bases here and you can make out what each piece clearly is. You've got all the shields, the swords, spears, all the bodies here, so it's really obvious where everything is. So you can see them here. You've got quite a lot of sort of fine detail on the shield, which you can see. So each one's got a slight bit of personality, individual personality. Got a nice amount of detail in the scales. Back half of the model is less detailed, as you can see here, but this is because it's generally the inside and not going to be seen. You can make out all the individual scales. The camera seems to be having trouble focusing, but you can see them. There's a lot of detail on these. So let's have a look for mould lines. Best place to look for these is probably on the shields, and you just can't make them out at all. They are very, very faintly there, but cleaning these up is just going to be really, really quick and simple. Let's have a look at the last part of the sprue quickly. So this has got your standard on, and just the last few warriors as well. Again, it's the same principle as before. The inside of the model is a lot less detailed, but you've got all the scales that you can make out on the models. Next, we're going to look at the hunters. So you can see here, you've got the picture of the two different sprues and a list of the different bases that you've got. Also in here are the terror wings. You can see you've got a couple of build variants as well. So you can go for for the alpha, you've got the choice of a moonstone club or a dart pipe. You start off by building up the core of the model, and then you attach the arms or the head. So it's only sort of 5 or 6 different pieces. And then you've got a choice of a claw or the skink with dart pipe. Number 3 is, again, you've got a choice of a moonstone club or a dart pipe. You've got the hornblower. And again, body comes in 2 parts. You've got the head, and then you've got the arms. So these are all very simple to build. All of the skinks have a choice of moonstone club, or you can build them with a dart pipe. I personally prefer the look of the dart pipe, so that's how I'll be building mine, I think. Again, they're all very simple builds. And then the last 3 all have to be built with dart pipes by the looks of it. Then you've got the terror rings, and again, these look very, very simple to build. First one comes in 4 pieces, which you can see here. Second one comes in 5 pieces, which you've got here, so the wings and the body and the legs. And then the last one comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. So really, really simple builds, and you can see them all here. Let's have a look at the sprue. So again, this is just as detailed as the Saurus warriors. You can make out all the scales on the model. So these are perfect for painters for picking out detail, and are great if you just want to do some washes, as you can let them really sink into the recesses. So let's have a look for some mould lines. So again, these are quite faint and hard to pick up, but you can just about make them out on the rock here. But again, they should be quite easy to clean up. These are sort of newer sculpts from 2022. Next, we're going to look at the Aggradon Lancers. So you can see here, again, you've got the 3 sprues, which we've got here. And again, you've got a couple of build variants you can do with the weapon options. So these look a lot more complicated than the previous models we've looked at. And you can see just by sort of building up of the mounts, they're a lot more complicated. So you start off, you've got 4 pieces to build up the head. Then you do the body, which comes in 2 separate pieces. Then you start by building up the core of the mount as well. Just a lot more pieces, and then you'd stick the head and the tail on. So I really like the mounts, as they give you the option to add a bit more colour into your army and really make it look different. Next up, we've got the riders. So you can see here, the rider looks relatively simple and a bit like the Saurus warriors. Build up the body, arms, and head. And then you can see the different variants that we can build. So you can have a champion or a lancer. And you can see the finishing touches on each individual mount. You can have a standard bearer or a lancer. Again, it's the same sort of principles as the Saurus warriors we saw earlier. Got a lot of different head options to really personalize them. A few shield options as well. Again, the finishing touches on the mount are the same. And then you've got the choice of a musician or a lancer as well. Again, it's following roughly the same principles. This time you've got a couple of drums that you can add on. You've still got the same head options as before. And then final touches are just building up the rest of the mount, which you can see here. So that's the instructions. Let's have a look at the sprues. So again, you can make out just how detailed these are. You've got scars on the flesh and scales of the mounts. You can make out all the individual scales again. These are perfect for washes. So crisp and detailed. Again, the insides are largely not that detailed because they're just the insides and not going to be seen. So let's have a look for mould lines again. So they're a bit more prominent, but these are much bigger pieces than the earlier units we were looking at. But they're clear enough that you can easily remove them, but not so prominent. They're going to take you a long time to do. Let's have a look at the last sprue very quickly. So this has just got, you can see the pieces of the drummer, you can see the shields here, parts of the bodies and legs and heads of the mounts. Again, same principle as before. The inside where you're gluing it, there's not a lot of detail. But the outside is crammed full of detail. These look like they're going to be really, really good fun to paint. Next up, the Kroxigor. I really like these models. They always make me think of a sort of ancient Egyptian for some reason. So you've got a couple of different build variants like before, but this time it's just weapon options. Or Kroxigor Warspawned versus Kroxigor. You've got a few interchangeable parts, which you can see here. And so we start off with the Kroxigor or the Kroxigor Warspawn, depending which way you want to go. You'll start by building up the weapon. And then you start building up the bodies with all the different tail parts and the legs, which come in numerous parts. So again, like the Lancer, these are a lot more complicated to build. You've got, again, the two different weapon options that you can go for. Just follow through the steps, building up the arms and then the head, which, depending which variant you go for, will be slightly different. Then you follow the same principle for the others, building up the body and the tail and the legs. And then your head and arm options vary depending whether you're going for Warspawned or regular Kroxigor, which you can see here. Got a few details that you can add to the base as well. And again, the last one is exactly the same principle as before. So we're just going to flick through that one. So let's have a look at the sprue, or sprues I should say. So you can see here, you can make out just how detailed that is straight off the bat. You can see all of the scales, different parts of the weapon. Imagining each sprue contains roughly one Kroxigor. You've got the different weapons here. Shaft of the weapon, torso, Again, like the Lancers, the insides aren't that detailed, so there's not a lot of detail on the back, other than you can sort of see the pieces that would be seen, like the feathers, weapon half. So let's have a look for some mould lines now. So best place to see them, well, they're not very visible, but on the weapon shaft here, you can't really make them out because they're just so invisible, really, which is good. They're really, really quick to clean up. Most of them, because of how the sprue is designed, you're not going to see the mould lines, so that should make cleaning these up far faster. The other half of the sprue, and again, it's like the one before, you can see the different weapon options, and here, and you can see sort of the arms and the body parts and the scales. And the back is much like before, where the inside isn't going to be visible. Last but not least, we have the Slann Starmaster. So you have got a couple of different variants that you can build. So you can personalise your Slann Starmaster. You start off by building up the throne, which you can see here. You've got, again, a couple little variants that you can do. And then you've got a couple more here. So you have got a little bit of individuality with each Starmaster. So it's a really, main bulk of the model is the throne, and is what's going to take you a lot of time. And then you've got the Slann on the top here. So you can see you've got the two different variants, one with the club, one holding the skull. And here as well, you've got a little bit of variation on the head. And then you've also got the Skinks that you can add to the side that serve for the Slann. You can see how it looks here, the two different variants that you've got. Let's have a look at sprues. Again, you can sort of see clearly what each piece is. Parts of the throne. The Slann is here. Well, that's his head anyway. So really, really detailed again. And you can make out all the sort of patterns on the throne here. Lots of runic and carvings. Really, really cool model. Let's try and see if we can find any mould lines. So the best place to look for them is probably on here, but they're not really not that visible, I have to say. So this should be, I think, the way the kit's been designed, so most of the mould lines won't be present, as you can probably see. Maybe on the arm. Again, you can't really make them out. So this, cleaning this up should be really, really quick. And we'll just look at the final sprue very, very quickly. Again, you can make out all the carvings on the stone, all the detail, all the plants coming off of this. You've got the little Skinks on this sprue as well. It's a great box. I'm really looking forward to building these. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you find it helpful. I'm really looking forward to building my Primordial Starhost, and I hope if you manage to get one yourself, you're looking forward to building it too. Don't forget to hit like, comment and subscribe. This helps me grow the channel and be seen by more people. If you want to see more from me as well, head over to Mythical Meeples, or you can support me on Patreon as well. And don't forget, if you want your own Games Workshop products, then and you're in the EU or UK, head over to Element Games using the link below. I'll get 5% kickback for every purchase you make, and you get discount on pretty much anything you buy from Element. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.